Well, hello everybody and happy Thursday. Today is a Thursday, May 6th, and we are starting our 10 at 10 webinar. Thank you all so much for being with me today. We'll kind of let everyone kind of signing on right here. Here everyone comes. Hope you're all having a wonderful and positive week and hanging in there as we experience this great unknown that we all have going on right now. We're here today to talk about some recruitment strategies. I know a lot of you out there are really struggling with finding quality staff for your early education and after school programs. And so I really want today's webinar to be more of a discussion rather than me just kind of sharing some information for you out there. Now, I want to go ahead and prepare some of you for your upset. I don't have a magic wand. I can't magically fix all of your staffing issues. And I don't have the answer to this staffing crisis that we are in right now. This is new territory for us. It's different territory that we are in right now. And the only way we're going to be able to get through this is to rethink how we're doing things and to come up with some new strategies. So that's kind of what I have on the agenda today and what I plan to talk about. And I do have some information to share with you and hopefully some helpful tips to help you, grow your school family and add more employees to your program right there. Now, for those of you that this is your first time joining us, the way this works is that we are live on Facebook. So you have the opportunity to interact with me. You can ask questions, you can make comments. If you need additional information on the knowledge or on the material that we're discussing, you can ask that there on Facebook. Because I am able to respond to you and interact with you, that makes this an instructor-led training with childcare licensing to help you with those 20% of the hours that you are needing. Now, this is also being recorded for folks that were not able to join us live today. They can go back and watch the recording anytime you want. If you missed any of the material today, you can watch the recording. Now, if you're watching the recorded video, that would be self-instructional training with childcare licensing, which is still 80% of your hours. At the end of the webinar today, I will post a link for you to complete your online worksheet. If you are wanting a certificate of completion for participating today, there's a $5 fee. You submit your worksheet with payment, and then I email you a certificate. If you just want to watch and participate today, then that doesn't cost you anything. That's free. So there you go. Good morning. Good morning. And I ask, the only thing I ask is that we try our hardest to stay on topic. The topic today is recruitment strategies. I actually participated in a webinar for another organization earlier this week on this same subject, and we went way off topic, and I felt really horrible because I don't think we gave the information that people had signed on for. But people ask questions, and there's a lot of curiosity and a lot of people seeking knowledge right now. And so let's try to stay on topic as much as possible. Because like I said, there's some breaking news this week that everyone is very anxious about, and but it actually is applicable to the material that we're going to talk about today. So I'm sure that I will touch on that. All right. So when we talk about recruitment strategies, the first thing I want to share with you is that we've got to practice the power of positive intent. All right. And with the power and the skill of positive intent, we see the best in others. We talked about this with the power of assertiveness and the power of attention. What we focus on, we get more of. So when we're talking about recruiting and staffing, I know that it's extremely frustrating right now. And we're getting a lot of garbage on social media that's feeding a lot of negativity into our brain. And while some of this stuff is actually true, people are making more money sitting at home than they are working. Let's not put our focus on that, all right? What we need to put our focus on is what we can do to get quality applicants into our program. And that when we're going through our recruitment process and we're reviewing applications and resumes, that we're really looking for the best in people instead of focusing on, are they going to show up? Are they going to leave me hanging? You know, are they going to work for 2 days and then leave me? Let's not focus on any of that, okay? What you focus on, you get more of. So we're going to focus on finding quality people and that they're going to stay and last, all right? And I know that we've talked about this so much. If you have a person that's more concerned about losing their unemployment benefits and their unemployment incentives rather than working, is that a person you really want in your classrooms? Is that a person that you really want in your school family? Probably not. The integrity and the work ethic is not there. Do you even want to waste your time on these people? But in the other hand, I get it. We need staff. And I am hearing from so many programs that you're having to put a pause on enrollment because you don't have the staff to care for the children that you have. Totally get it. All right. But that's where, again, I really want to focus on positive intent and the power of attention. All right. I've always been the biggest believer in when you're patient, the right person will come to you just when they're supposed to. All right. Now, Afia, I believe is, if I said it correctly, she's trying to leap way forward in my presentation. She's already going for the gold here. All right. Where do we find quality people? We're going to talk about that. All right. So let's be patient with the information that's being delivered right there. All right. But I do believe, talking about where do you find quality people? When you practice positive intent, the good quality people will find you. I do believe in that. And I do believe that the good people will find you just when they're supposed to. So you got to have faith and you got to be optimistic. All right. Now, what you've got to focus on is getting the word out in the community on what a good employer you are and how well you do take care of your staff, the benefits that you're offering your staff that are relevant to today's employees. All right. And then getting it out into the community on the benefit that the employees are making in your program, all right? What's in it for them and how they're making a difference. And when you have this reputation as being a good employer, like I said, I believe the people will come to you. So it's just getting the word out there, all right? Now, yes, there are resources out there, Facebook Jobs, Indeed, care.com. There's a lot of different platforms that you can pay money to help find quality people. I know a lot of you are not having good success with some of these avenues, that you're spending a lot of money. You get a lot of resumes that don't have experience, that don't have the education we're looking for, or you schedule 7 interviews and maybe 1 shows up. All right. We're going to talk about all of that as we kind of go through the materials. So let's just kind of get back on the agenda right here. Let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room because I know that this is a topic on everyone's mind. And I've probably received, I can't even tell you how many emails and phone calls over the last couple of weeks on this very topic. Yes, we have an issue in this country right now with unemployment benefits and unemployment incentives. And approximately, depending on the individual and their circumstance, you have to pay someone about $16.87 an hour just to match what some of them are getting on unemployment. All right. Well, most of us can't pay an entry-level person $16.87 an hour. That's just not realistic at this moment. All right. If you haven't looked at your wage matrix lately, I do think it's a good idea that you take a look at your salary matrix. When was the last time you've updated this based on the cost of living in your area? When was the last time you've updated your wage matrix based on the average childcare employee salary? And it might be time for an update. All right. There is a website, and I have shared this website with y'all in many different workshops, texaswages.com. texaswages.com, and in the search category over on the top right hand side, just type in childcare, and it will take you to childcare workers, and it will tell you what the average hourly wage is in the state of Texas for a childcare worker. If you click on childcare worker, this is important. When you click on childcare worker, it will tell you the average hourly wage for the geographical region that you're in Texas. Obviously, the cost of living is going to be different in cities like Austin versus Texarkana. So you want to make sure that you're looking at your geographical area and determining what is the average hourly rate. All right. Now, there's when we talk about recruitment and turnover of staff, of course, one of the biggest topics we hear is they don't make enough money. The wages for our employees are very low, and I think we can all agree with that. So yes, we would love to pay our employees more money. Will it help with recruitment and turnover of staff? That's yet to be determined. But there are a couple of initiatives that are happening right now that is very optimistic. We actually have a piece of legislation that is down in Austin right now as we speak that would give Texas Workforce Commission the opportunity to come up with a plan to increase wages and support employers. Now, I don't know what that plan is yet. None of us know what that plan is yet. It's a plan to develop a plan. So we got to be patient, all right? We don't have a magic 8 ball. We don't have a crystal ball, and we don't know what the plan is yet. But let's be optimistic that at least they're putting a focus on it, all right? So that's good news right there. The other thing is, I'm sure that y'all have heard this week that Texas Workforce Commission has kind of released their initial plan, the beginning part of the distribution of the stimulus money that was earmarked for child care providers, all right? That was released earlier this week. There was an email that went out to everyone yesterday. If you did not get that, go to Texas Workforce Commission and you can find it. I actually posted it on my Facebook yesterday, so you can see that on my wall, all right? Now, there's going to be some additional funding coming our way, all right? There's going to be some criteria. Money's just not going to automatically pop in your bank account, all right? There's going to be some things that we have to do that has yet to be determined, so we don't know that yet. But you're going to have to do some things, and then some funding is going to be coming your way based on your program. Someone had made a comment yesterday about, well, nowhere in this email from Texas Workforce Commission does it say anything about increasing staff wages. That's going to come back on you, all right? You're going to be given this money, and you are going to have to make the determination on how you're going to spend it or the best way to spend it for your program. Increasing staff wages is definitely going to be a consideration for you, all right? They're not going to drive the bus for you. You've got to take the steering wheel and you've got to drive the bus, all right? So when we start getting this money, and we don't know how much or when, what, how, where, but when we get it, if you feel that increasing staff wages is the best way for you to use this money, that's something we've got to look at. But you're the driver of that bus, all right? They're not going to spell it out for you. So take a look at that right there, and so that kind of addresses that issue. I'm sure a lot of you have seen on social media all of the different pictures and stories and news articles about organizations like McDonald's. They're giving people $50 just to turn in a job application. Taco Bell having hiring parties, Buc-ee's, the gas station doing these big incentives to get people to apply for a job. People are getting very creative, And so, one of my first recruitment strategies is to pay attention to what other people are doing. The other thing, looking at all of this stuff that's happening, it's refreshing to know that it's not just us, all right? It's not just the childcare industry that is struggling with staff. I know of restaurants that are having to close at 4 o'clock in the afternoon because they don't have enough employees to be open at night. Retail establishments that have limited hours right now because they just don't have employees. All right, so it's not just the childcare industry. This is happening to everybody out there. Think about what type of application incentives or hiring incentives you might want to put in place out there. We've definitely done it in the past where, anytime you hire someone, you do a hiring bonus, so $250 after they've been with you for 90 days and they're in good standing. That's probably one of the most popular incentives we see. The only thing about doing, like $250 after 90 days is that so many people these days are wanting instant gratification, and if they don't get that instant gratification, then your incentive probably isn't going to work. So you might want to, I got some crazy hair today. You might want to think about how can you split that up to where they do get some type of instant gratification. So maybe $50 upon hire and then $200 after 90 days. All right. We've also talked about employee referral programs. So if you have an employee that refers someone to you, that after they've been with you for 90 days, $250 to the referred employee and the referring employee. Both of them still have to be working for you, be in good standing, make sure all of that is outlined in your plan. All right. When we look at know your audience and where are they? Well, a lot of our job applicants right now are at home. So how can we reach these job applicants while they're at home? Social media is probably your best tool right now. So creating job banners that you're putting on social media, not just on Facebook jobs, but on your school Facebook page as well, or your Instagram, or whatever platform that you're using that's going out into the community. And focus on diversity, focus on how they can make a difference in your school, all right? Focus on how they can be part of a team. That's what this generation of workers is looking for. They need to know that they can make a difference. They need to know that they're part of a team or a family. They're part of a community. So that needs to be included in all of your job ads that you post out there, your recruitment ads. Listing out your benefits. And when I say, listing out your benefits in your recruitment strategies, yes, medical, dental, vision, 401k, paid time off, childcare discounts, those are all pretty the standard ones right there. But think outside of the box once again, all right? What other type of benefits do you offer that could attract these employees? We were talking earlier this week that I think a lot of people forget that, in the childcare industry right now, we are a Monday through Friday job, no nights, no weekends. I mean, we may do a training or a meeting here or there, but for the most part, we're a Monday through Friday job, no nights, no weekends. That's something you want to advertise, all right? That's something you want to put in your recruitment ads. There's not a lot of employers that can still say they're a Monday through Friday, no nights, no weekends job. But, unless you're a 24-hour program or you're an extended care program, that is a big benefit. Lunches are included. We encourage our teachers to eat with our children, so they get the school lunch. As crazy and as small as that sounds, that's actually a big benefit that, lunch is provided for them every day. Now, it's the school food, but lunch is provided. So, training opportunities, advancement opportunities, these are all things that you want to think outside of the box and include in your recruitment ads, not just your standard medical, dental, vision, blah, 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 blah. All right? So focus on that right there. We've had a lot of conversations with a lot of folks recently, and this just kind of keeps building and building and building and, validating what we've been preparing for. So far in 2021, yes, we're seeing some increase in enrollment. Families are starting to come back. They're starting to feel more comfortable. They're going back to the workforce. And I think that, through the end of May, we're going to continue to see this little bitty climb. I don't anticipate a big summer program like we normally do. I think that we'll have a decent summer camp, but it's not going to be the big blowout that we normally have. I think where we're going to explode and be huge is back to school season. All right. So when you're recruiting your staff, I don't want you to be thinking about just what are your current staffing needs, but we need to be planning for August and September. All right. And get that ball rolling now instead of trying to handle this in July and August. We need to be preparing for it now. And be prepared for attrition, all right? For every, 5 employees you hire, plan on 2 not making it, all right? Because that's reality a lot of times. A lot of people, we get in here and they realize this isn't for them, or you're not the right program for them, and you're gonna lose some of your new applicants. So take that into consideration. Right now, I think all of us would be extremely happy to be overstaffed. I will take overstaffed right now, okay? Let's kind of talk about, one of the biggest pieces of frustration that I hear from folks is you schedule interviews and then they don't show up, and it's a big waste of your time. So I've got some recommendations for you on what you can do to help with this situation, all right? Whether you're using Indeed or Facebook Jobs or you're using social media, I like good old-fashioned yard signs if your city or county will allow them. Check your city ordinance. Just the good old-fashioned now hiring in your yard. Let's go back to the basics right here. Direct mail pieces. We talk about you got to reach your applicants. Where are they right now? A lot of them are sitting at home. All right. So, reach them at their home. So direct mail pieces that specifically focus on, hiring and joining your school family, that we're looking for experienced and educated, proud early educators, a direct mail piece that you can reach them where they're at. First, I'm going to recommend a phone screening. All right. So don't just call up and say, hey, I got your application. Can you come in Tuesday at 10? All right. Call them up and do a phone screening first. Hey, my name is Tim. I'm calling from, the preschool down the road. I have received your application. Do you have about 10 or 15 minutes to chat with me on the phone? And then talk about the job, talk about the expectations, talk about what they're looking for in an employer, all right? But spend 10 or 15 minutes doing a phone screening first. All right. Then, are you available for a virtual interview? Whether it's FaceTime or a Zoom, whatever, you can work out between that person. And if you can do it right then and there, hey, this phone call is going really well. Are you willing to do a FaceTime with me? Or are you willing to jump on a Zoom with me? Or when would be a good time for you to do a virtual screening? All right. And then once again, 10 or 15 minutes doing a virtual screening, all right? Now, I like this because, you kind of get to see, the way they present themselves in a virtual interview, what's going on in the background, all right, is going to show you a lot about their ethics and their integrity, all right? And you might be able to weed some people out just by doing that virtual interview. Yeah, not so much, all right? Or this person seems like they're really interested in this. They got their stuff together. After a successful phone screening and then a virtual screening, then schedule the in-person interview. And that's where you'll do your normal interview process, focus on questions around the job description, focus on the skills that they have to offer the employer, what you have to offer them. I have found that if you do the phone screening, if you do a virtual screening, they're more likely to show up for the in-person interview. If they have already invested 10 or 15 minutes into a phone call, they've already invested 10 or 15 minutes into a FaceTime or a Zoom, they're going to show up for the in-person, all right? And the last thing that, I recommend to help eliminate these no-shows is ask them. Are you going to show up for the interview? If I schedule you an interview tomorrow at 2 o'clock, are you going to show up? Ask them, all right? Can you make me a commitment that you will be here? All right, I would love to schedule this interview, but I need a commitment from you that you're going to be here. A lot of times when we just say, hey, this is Tim, can you come tomorrow at 10? Then that's when we get disappointed when they don't show up. All right, we got to ask them right there. So I got a question about recommendations for a new school trying to open this summer. That's exciting because they get to work from the ground up and they get to help establish the integrity of your business. And that would be a big, unique selling point in your recruitment ads. We are a new program looking for fresh talent that can establish our reputation into the community. A lot of people, when they hear that they're coming into an entry level or new position, new business, that's very attracting for them right there. So Jennifer, you've got a great opportunity to attract some really good employers that are looking to come in, on the ground floor of a new business right there. All right. But I don't think when we talk about our frustrations with recruitment, I don't think we do a good enough job of weeding out the bad applicants. I think that we're only focused on trying to getting people in the door, that we just let anyone in the door, and then we get frustrated when things don't go our way, when the world doesn't go our way. So I like the phone screening, I like the virtual screening. Ask them for a commitment that they will show up, and I think that you're going to see some positive results right there. That's one of your worksheet questions, by the way. What are kind of 3 techniques that you can use to eliminate the no-shows in your job interview right there? Something else that that you might want to consider on recruitment strategies, especially right now in 2021, reach out to previous employees. All right, go back 2, 3, 5, 10 years ago. People that used to work with you, that if you could get them back on your bus, you would love to get them back on your bus. And don't think about why did they leave you or what was going on in their world and this is the reason why they left you. Because just like so many of us, their world has probably changed in the past year. All right, you never can tell. Calling up that employee that worked for you 10 years ago and just saying, hey, how's it going? Would you consider coming back? You might be surprised reaching out to those old employees. And ask them, if you're not willing to come back, do you know anyone that is? All right. It's very likely that they know somebody who's looking for a new school family and they can refer some folks to you. So reach out to those old people that have left you. Now if you terminated them, I probably wouldn't reach out to that one, but people that left you in good standing right there. Karen, for your question, recommendations for part-time programs during, from August to May, I read that backwards. I was going to recommend college students right now. Now is the season for us to get good temporary employees with college students. And here's the thing about these younger employees, they're less likely to be receiving unemployment benefits, all right? Especially your college students, people are fresh out of college and new to the workforce. They are less likely to be receiving those unemployment incentives. They're the ones that we really need to be spotlighting right now and putting a focus on, all right? But even your August to May programs, graduation season is happening right now. Now would be the time that I would be knocking on all of the colleges and universities in your area, putting some recruitment ads out there for people that are graduating from college right now. They're going to be looking to enter the workforce as soon as they graduate. It's a great time to grab those people and snatch them up. All right. So reach out to those colleges and universities, junior colleges. Junior colleges typically have very strong early childhood programs. They're one of your best resources right there. All right. I have a note right here. I don't know why I put this note right here, but I don't know what my brain thinking at the time. I'm sure there was a really good reason why I wanted to mention this at this time, but when you do offer someone their job back, so if you have furloughed anyone or you've had to temporarily lay someone off and you have reached out to an employee to call them back and they refuse to come back or they don't want to come back or whatever excuse they give you, we're not even going to go there, make sure you're reporting that to Texas Workforce Commission, and you do that online. I get so many people that say, well, I can't get a hold of them. Stop trying to call them, all right? You do it online. But anytime you offer someone their job back, you can report that. It's really quick and simple, and it's right on the home page of Texas Workforce Commission. The other thing, be on the lookout for fraudulent unemployment claims. And I'm sure that y'all are getting the same emails that I'm getting from Texas Workforce Commission. It seems like there's one a week right now telling employers to be aware of fraudulent unemployment claims and to report fraudulent unemployment claims. Many of you probably have gotten unemployment claims on people that are still working for you, and it might say reduced hours or disaster or COVID, like one word is all that's on there. It's very, very possible that your employee didn't file that claim, that it's fraudulent. All right. So if you get those, make sure that you're responding. Maybe it is you've got an employee that the moment you send them home early on Wednesday, they go and file for reduced hours. You're like, you missed 1 hour. And go to them and say, hey, I keep getting these unemployment claims on you. I'm just concerned that someone is committing identity theft. Is this really you, or are you a victim of identity theft? I'm just looking out for you, all right? And see what they have to say on that right there. All right. Now remember, whenever you are doing your recruitment, you need to be keeping job applications for at least 1 year. So a resume is considered a job application as far as the Department of Labor is concerned now. So, you should be keeping those job applications for 1 year. Might be a good time for you to go back through your file. All right, go back, and some of you probably keep them longer than 1 year. Go back through previous applications and previous resumes. Maybe there's someone that you tried to reach out to months ago, and maybe they showed up, maybe they didn't show up, maybe they found another opportunity and that's why they didn't show up. Maybe reach back out to these previous applicants. All right. Sometimes the job market is so hot right now. There's so many of us that need employees, that one reason why we don't get responses from applicants is because they've already accepted a job somewhere else. All right. Well, 2-3 months have gone on now, and maybe things aren't going too well at that new job, or they got laid off from that one. You never know what the circumstance may be. So, don't be afraid to reach out to those previous applicants and previous resumes that didn't respond to you, and maybe even some of the no-shows. Hey, we had an interview scheduled, back on November 22nd at 10 a.m. We missed you. You didn't show up for it. Just thought I would reach back out to you once again. All right. At this point, it doesn't hurt. All right. Whenever you're creating, we've talked about Indeed, we've talked about Facebook Jobs. There's some other new ones that I just heard about out there recently. Most of them will give you the opportunity to include an attachment. All right. A business document that I always recommend that you attach to any recruitment ad is the job description. All right. You want to make sure that you're focusing on the expectations from day 0, not day 1. We're going to focus on expectations before they even apply for the job, so they know exactly what they're getting themselves into. All right. So if you can attach the job description to the recruitment ad, that is always a wonderful idea. We've actually seen people win unemployment claims by being able to prove that the employee was aware of the job expectations before they even applied. All right, so that's a very valuable resource. I would make a flyer, maybe a one sheet that lists out, once again, the job benefits. What benefits do you offer? And again, think outside of the box, not just your standard, vision, dental, medical, blah, 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 but list out those other benefits that you have in your program. You know what? This is so funny because this has been kind of happening in our world right now. You might be an employer that you allow your employees to wear blue jeans to work. You don't require khaki pants or something like that you have a more relaxed dress code. You know what? Telling someone that they can wear blue jeans to work, that's a benefit. And it's amazing how many people would be attracted to you as an employer for something that simple, all right? That you're allowed to wear blue jeans, appropriate blue jeans to work. It's just really interesting to me right now, the things that applicants are interested in and what they gravitate to. And it's not always money, all right? It's not always competitive wages, but those little bitty things, that you offer them, it's pretty important right there. Of course, when you do that criminal background check, make sure you're doing the criminal background check sooner than later. So, during the interview or at the end of the first interview, before you schedule a second interview, if you're able to do that criminal background check, get that ball rolling, because we want to get that eligibility letter as soon as possible. If it is an employee that has lived out of state in the last 5 years, y'all know that takes a little bit longer, so we want to get that ball rolling. Ask them, have they been fingerprinted to work in a licensed child care facility? If they haven't, that they're going to get the instructions on how, that they have to be fingerprinted. Make sure you're communicating that with them ahead of time as well. But I personally want to get that eligibility letter back as soon as possible so that I can research their previous employers. What licensed child care programs have also done a criminal background check on this person, and I want to go back and look at the compliance history of their previous employers. All right, that's going to tell you, are you getting someone that's been properly trained, that has worked in a center that has focused on compliance, or if they've worked at a place that has bad compliance history, they're more likely to bring bad habits with them. All right, and I bring this up as part of a recruitment strategy because right now, especially, you have to really ask yourself, how much time do I have to dedicate to that new employee? Once I hire them, I've got to get them orientated, I've got to get them trained. How much time do I have to spend on that? And if you're hiring someone that may be bringing a lot of bad habits, you might be setting yourself up for failure because you don't have the time to commit to untraining this person before you train them. All right? So we're going to be recruiting people with more experience. All right? And I'm going to pay really close attention to that experience. Or sometimes, and right now, I kind of like hiring people with no experience sometimes, depending on what my needs are. If I hire someone with no experience, then I get to train them the way I want them to be trained. And I don't have to worry about them bringing bad habits with them, okay? But once again, what are your business needs? How much time do you have to dedicate to this new employee, all right? I think that's so incredibly important when it comes to the recruitment strategies. Excuse me. Let me ask all of you out here right now. We've got a good group of people online with us right now. If you're willing, someone share with me, what is a recruitment strategy that has been effective for you? We're all in this together, folks. We need to support each other in the early education and after-school industry. So if you have a recruitment technique that you have seen some positive results, share it with us. If anyone is willing to type that in, that would be nice. Definitely if you have a recruitment strategy that is out of the box, that is something that is different, where you have advertised in your community that on Tuesday, May whatever 11th or 12th, whatever Tuesday is, we're going to have a hiring party at our school, and we're going to have games, and we're going to have food and prizes for anyone that comes in and applies for a job. We're going to have a hiring party Tuesday night. Bring your friends, you know, and even have some of your current employees that help you with that hiring party, so they can get people in, you know, part of your school family and excited about your school family. So, you know, that might be an idea right there as a recruitment strategy. Yes, I am so sorry for the background noise. I am in a school today, like so many of you. You probably do hear my background noise because I have a 4-year-old classroom right behind me, and these walls can be very thin sometimes. Yep. Referral programs, Lucy is saying, hey, and you know what? Create a banner, a now hiring banner that you can share with your current employees and ask them if they are willing to post on their personal Facebook pages. You know, most of our employees have had previous experience. They have worked at other schools. They're probably still friends with people that worked at other schools. So when you ask your employees to post on their personal pages, that's a great way to recruit some people with experience right there. And if you want to offer an incentive, that even, you know, sweetens the pot a little bit more right there. Word of mouth. Ask your parents, your friends, your employees. Absolutely. Make your parents your recruitment partners. All right? But don't do it in a way that makes you look desperate. All right? But, you know, hey, mom and dad, you know, if y'all know anyone that's looking for a new career that would love to be part of our school family, send them our way. And again, I'll offer you a free week of tuition for anyone that you refer to fill out an application or have an interview or you hire. So you can do a referral program for your families too. All right. Vicky's saying that she employs a lot of college students right here. So again, reach out to their roommates, their classmates, other students right there. Fantastic. And I tell you, that's our golden ticket right now, is the people that are graduating from college. They're fresh to the workforce and they're eager. That's where your focus needs to be right there. You know, sometimes parents offer to work. I've hired parents before. Sometimes it works, sometimes it was a disaster, but I probably had more success than disaster, so I'll take it. You know, if you have a parent that's looking for a new career, might be an opportunity. We have one right now that's actually been very, very successful, and she was a parent before she was an employee. All right. Once again, you're graduating seniors from both high school and college. That's our golden ticket right now, folks, and it's a perfect season for that right there as well. Good. Thank you so much for all of you that kind of shared some recruitment strategies that you've been using out there. Keep your eye on what other people are doing, all right? And not just other early education after school programs, but keep your eye on other businesses in your area. See what recruitment strategies they are using, what's being successful for them, all right? I did see a Dairy Queen that had a sign that basically said, now hiring anyone willing to work, you know, so you just never know. College students, graduates, that's our golden tickets. I also encourage y'all, it's time to review your salary matrix. Is it time for an update? All right. And we need to increase those wages when we can. We've got money coming to us. We get to spend this money that's coming to us on wages. All right. So it's a good time to start preparing yourself and looking at that salary matrix. And that might be part of your recruitment strategy, is advertising that. Go to that texaswages.com. Take a look at the salaries in your area. All right. And again, you might need to be competitive. Does this mean we might have an increase in our parents' tuition? Probably, all right? But you also got to remember, all of your families out there also just receive an increase in their tax credits, all right, for having children. Part of the reasons why that happened was to help cover the cost of childcare. So yes, it's going to put, the tax credits are going to put more money in parents' pocket. It's intended to help them pay for quality childcare. So, you know, it's actually a great time for you to look at your tuition rates and have a possible increase so that you can cover this additional staffing right there. All right. Fantastic. Man, that went really fast. That was a lot of information in a very short amount of time that we got to talk about right there. All right, so your online worksheet should be on Facebook right now, so it should be popping up in the feed. You can just refresh your browser and it should be there. I will also post it in the chat box as soon as we end the webinar here in just a little bit. So if you're wanting a certificate of completion for participating today, you can complete that online worksheet, $5, and I will email you a certificate. I wish I had the magic wand that I could go poof, all of your staffing issues are solved. I wish I had the crystal ball that I could tell you what the magical answer is. We just don't know what it is right now. All right. But look at the people that are on this Facebook Live right now. There's a lot of smart people that are participating in this Facebook Live. We got some amazing leadership talent represented right here. I'm looking at the names that are scrolling up and down. Together, we can solve this problem. Together, we can come up with solutions and share that with one another. We are all in this together, okay? But my recommendation is to focus on the fresh ones. You know, look at those people that are just entering the job force and grab that new and fresh talent. That's where the success is going to come in. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope all of you have a good rest of your Thursday. Remember, we're doing director workshop tomorrow from 9 a.m. What the best do better than everyone else. Saturday, teacher workshop, summer and field trip safety. It's going to be a little bit different this year. So Saturday, if your teachers can hop on Facebook Live, 9 o'clock once again for summer and field trip safety. Tomorrow, director workshop. And I've got dates for summer that have not been published yet, but I'm still tweaking them up a little bit. I'll get those out there as soon as possible. And then we're trying to decide what to do about fall, if we want to keep doing Facebook Lives or if we are ready to go back to in-person weekend mini conferences. So I'll be making that decision very, very soon. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your Thursday. I appreciate all of you. Bye.